This is called the Culture Currency Show. So y'all know how the Culture Currency Show works. This is a platform made to educate the aspiring entrepreneur, businesswoman, businessman in what they want to pursue. So I do want to go a little bit of backstory into who you are and what got you into fashion. And then really, if we could even walk through what it takes to run something to such a high quality and high production, because I feel like a lot of folks out here, they think it's just easy to put a fashion show together. They get a couple of their homies that got a couple brands, then they get a venue, and then the ticket sales is all janky, the food is all messed up, but you've been doing it, 15 years now?
I can't believe you just said that.
Well, hey, but I think for me, I'm not saying that to discredit anybody. I'm really saying it to get your step your shit up. Like, I came to your fashion, I'm like, wow, this was really well executed, no matter what. So I think there's some people who just feel like they could just wake up today and be like, oh, I want to do that. But I want to go into details about that. But before then, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Kisha.
Hey, Kisha.
Mom, entrepreneur, all around just good person.
Boss lady.
Boss lady.
Yeah. So please tell the people who are going to be tapping in how you got into fashion. Like, what made you pick that first? Because I know you said it was dancing and then changed other things.
I didn't pick fashion first.
Okay.
Like I told you, I was dancing and traveling the world, a professional dancer.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting pregnant by my high school sweetheart.
Hey.
Yeah, so we ended up, being together and having my first daughter. And after I finished school, my mom was like, you can't go back to dancing, which was absolutely not the truth, but that was her truth. That's what she felt that I couldn't do, So you got to choose a career that you want to work in. So I went to school for pharmaceuticals, and I worked in a pharmacy.
Wow.
Yeah, for a long time.
Wow.
And I hated it.
Okay.
And so I met this girl at these apartments I was working at. She worked in the front office. And we would sit down and laugh and have a good time, like when I would have a day off or whatever. And I said, I think I would like to do something like this, like get people into their new homes, blessing people in that way, like in the property management field on that side of real estate. And so she was like, I think you could, girl, you could do it, And I kind of went home, thought about it, didn't move forward with it right away. I called my job one day because I wasn't feeling well. I had went through something at home and I needed a mental day. And my supervisor was like, oh, but you were on the schedule today. And literally, that's all it took. I said, oh, I won't be coming back. I'll come pick up my check on Friday then. If I can't take one mental day, I'll come pick up my check on Friday. And that was from the pharmacy. And I did. And when I went in, she was like, what happened? Like trying to talk to me. Nothing happened. Just hand me over my check. Have a good day. And so I took 2 days. I got in my car, had my resume ready. I was still living in Houston at the time. And so I drove through. I hit every A property. Anybody in property management knows what that means. That's to mean any luxury property between Kingwood, the Woodlands, Cypress, Katy. That's a lot of land to cover. Within 2 days, I'm introducing myself to the managers, dropping off my resume. And I knew I had to do that type of groundwork because I had no experience in that field. So I was banking on, one, favor from God, and two, somebody seeing it in me like she can do this, right? And that's exactly what happened. This guy named Mike, he was the interviewer, and he said, I think you can do it. You have no experience, so I'm gonna, he said, we have a lot of properties that need help, that need more of like an aggressive personality. I don't want to send you to those. And it actually worked for me because he ended up sending me to a property in Kingwood, and anybody knows what Kingwood is near Houston is a very beautiful area. And so I went there, and and let's be clear, I took a pay cut. Took a pay cut. but I actually liked what I was doing.
Yeah.
I had an office, but I also got to get out of the office. I got to communicate with people, get out the office, walk the property, you know, show them homes. And so I enjoyed getting up and going to work. So I ended up growing from that property into like nicer management companies and making a lot more money. I ended up when I left property management, I was making 6 figures.
That's fire.
You know what I'm saying? And I was in it for consistently for 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I loved it. And so how fashion circled back around is not only did I work in property management, but I had to be the best dressed girl at the office. I don't know what. I just would be like, and they would give us like allowances for like your clothing and stuff. Like when I got with this really good company, they would give us like, you know, you get this much every 3 months. That's crazy. You know, to go buy your business clothes. They still do it in certain management companies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, so I always loved fashion. Let's start there because I was traveling and it was in the music industry. So we always had to dress fly. The stylist always had some fly clothes for us to wear. Like, I loved it. Like, my aunt took me on my first shopping spree, like, in elementary. My mom bought me my first designer purse at, like, 9. It was a Dooney & Burke. So I've loved fashion, but I never thought to, like, work in that field. So as I'm working in property management, I would go to, like, Marciano. Instead of going to, like, my whole point was instead of going to, like, Express and, like, New York and Company, all the girls would come back with, like, 10, 15 outfits, suits. I would come back with 4 suits because it was the quality for me over the quantity. So I was going to expensive places in a Galleria Mall. Like, they knew me. Like, here she come. Here, let's get her a glass of champagne ready. But they must have got their allowance. You know, they got their allowance. Here she come. So to buy my, like, dress clothes. Another thing is, I'm petite now, but I was even more petite then. So cheaper clothing didn't complement my curves. So I would go buy, that's when I started learning about fabrics. You know, like, so I would go to these places that cater to all kinds of women. Well, it's not that they cater to all kinds of women, it's just their quality was better, so the clothes look better on me. So let's say a coworker went to Express and got her a $40 blouse, little blouse. I'm going to Marciano and I'm paying $120. You understand what I'm saying? Or at my suit altogether, almost $300. That's, you know, for one. So I'm taking my personal money plus the money they're giving me, and I'm like, okay, if I can at least squeeze 4 suits into this allowance. And I would come, they'd be like, that so cute, but that's all you were able to get? So, but think about it, if I'm doing that for 12 years, then I've built this closet of work clothes. Now, that's just work clothes. I still have a shopping addiction, y'all. Because this is when, the story gets even better. So this is just work clothes. On top of that, I'm raising 3 children. Side note, I'm raising 3 children. And thank God they have to wear uniforms to school. I buy them some Jordans. Buy them some Jordans, make sure them uniforms is clean, and they have some clothes on the weekend. You know, it wasn't that bad. So I was hanging out with my friend one day. Shout out to Calvin. We still friends. Shout out to him and his wife. And he was like, you spend so much money. Now, you have to understand, my mom been fussing because you have a shopping addiction. They fussing, they trying to sit me down and have talks. I'm like, it's my money. And I'm making good money. My mom's like, you're right, but one day you're going to wish you would have saved some of that. And I'm like, listen, lady, I'm going to look good today. You know, I'm in my 20s, y'all. I was in my 20s. When I would shop for my personal clothes, I was paying like $300 for jeans, for like Laguna Beach jeans. Do y'all remember them Laguna Beach jeans? Yeah, the girls. I went through a phase where that's all I bought. Like, ooh, what kind of jeans are Levi's? Ooh. Like, I was acting up, y'all. I had lost my noodles. I had lost my mind. So I started falling in love with fashion. This is while I'm still working, not even thinking to open no boutique or nothing. But my friend would, every time he see me, you need to open up an online boutique. You need to invest in your own fabric. You can start off with a t-shirt line or something, but you're giving so much of your money to these places and you are styling yourself. You're just going there to buy their clothes, but you're actually styling yourself and pulling from different stores and pulling these suits and stuff together, even on your days off, like you still fly. So I did. No, actually I didn't. He pulled up to my mom's house one day and was like, I want to take you somewhere. I said, where are we going? Now, homeboys can be some of the annoying people in the world because it's like, you're not my brother, you're not my man, and you're annoying me right now.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I want to take you somewhere. It's important. And he took me to get my business license.
That's hard. The Calvin?
Calvin.
Hey, shout out to you, my boy. Shout out to you, my boy. Yeah.
Yeah, he took me to get my, it's a couple of gifts that I received in this world that I will cherish for. That was definitely one of them moments where I was like, well, what? I didn't even know, like, he was like, this, so you can get this DBA or you can get this. And so we're at the courthouse and he's telling me this and I'm like, oh my God, I get the DBA.
Okay.
And
for people who don't know, DBA means doing business as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I was doing business as K Waters Fashion. And so I'm like, okay, like I have these ideas in my head. I have these looks in my head. You know, how do I create a store? This was in 2010. And what a lot of people don't know is I was one of the first Black-owned boutiques online that wasn't connected to like a department store or a major store.
Damn, shout out to that.
Yeah, I didn't even know it. Somebody else had to come and tell me, like, girl, did you know? Because at the time when I opened my boutique, and that's another thing, it's not just about who you know, it's about who you know and who they know.
Yeah.
So Calvin was able to pick up the phone, and I have this homeboy that do dope websites, blah, blah, blah. And this man did like top of the line, like my website looked like Macy's, and when you put in certain clothes, it came up right up under. I was on the first page of Google, is what I'm saying.
Ooh, oh,
like
he
had
crazy.
them.
Yeah.
It was hooked up.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Side note before we continue,
go ahead.
Make sure when y'all get someone to work on your websites and your graphics and all that, they have an understanding of SEO and placements and everything. Because that's exactly what happened for her. She found.
And I had no idea. So it's about who you know, y'all. Like I didn't know because. Had I tried to do it myself, I would have went to one of the little cheap little companies, opened my little website, uploaded my little pictures looking corny. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I was on WordPress yesterday. Shout out to my boy Shouter.
But you know, the downside to that is I could not update my website on my own. I had no clue.
Right.
Like anytime I needed any updates, I had to go to him. I had to pay him to do it, which wasn't a problem because again, I was still working my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So I ended up having the website open, and I started off with t-shirts, you know, like merch. I started off with merch. And then I went from merch to a couple of pieces here and there, you know, making a couple. And I learned from University of YouTube.
That's all. Shout out to YouTube University. Hey, YouTube, cut us a check.
So my first collection was a bathing suit collection, so that's what I learned first. That was pretty easy to, you know, maneuver. But what my whole point is, once that website was up and the proper person did the website, I had a Twitter open, had a Facebook open. I didn't have MySpace, okay? So I had a Facebook and a Twitter. Twitter did this to my brand. Let me tell y'all why. My name of my store was K Waters Fashions, but on Twitter, my name was True Fashion. And for whatever reason, BET, MTV, all of E-News, all of these, this is back then, started following the page. Who is this girl? Who is this girl? I have some relationships with people right now that met me on Twitter that was working on like Rip the Runway, like, okay, we're going to sign her up to do Rip the Runway. Like, because I took advantage of the social media, and when they went to my website, it trumped over. First of all, I'm on the first page.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was so professional and so beautiful that it just really trumped over like so many different websites, right? So with that, the visual was very clear. It was, you only had like, back then I think I had 3 clicks to get to payout. Now we want to do it in that one click. And I'm that girl too. Don't have me doing too much on your site. I'm not buying it. And that I changed my mind.
Yeah.
It better be an Apple Pay, or I better click it. Oh, I like it. Here's the size I want, and I better be able to.
Boom, boom.
Come on. Our patients are
Work
nothing.
Man.
So when that happened, and I started building these relationships with bloggers and stuff in New York. So there was no relationship to LA yet. I'm in Houston. Even though I was raised here, I left LA when I was 19. So during my 20s, I'm in Houston. So Houston was supporting me, putting on like my fashion shows and stuff like that. They were buying tickets. It was a lot of support there. But when it came to like getting right to the business, there were people, and I don't know if they would want me to shout them out, but there were people, women, Black women, that were reaching out to me like, hey, I work for this company. I can help your brand. I can do this. I can do that. That really helped me. The first magazine, I don't even think this magazine is still open, but it was called Bougie Magazine. It was owned by a lady named Angela. And she did a fashion show in Chicago, New York, and Houston. And she reached out to me to interview me and to have me as one of the designers at the show. Guess who walked for me in that show?
Ooh.
Pastor Keon.
That's hard.
That's hard, y'all. That's crazy. And I didn't know till last week. I was looking through old pictures because I wanted to start showing people how my brand grew. Like my cousin gave me this idea, like just doing this video of like from the beginning, like leading up to now. And he was one of the models, and he even did a little videos on YouTube. He was like, yeah, you got to be and reach out, and you got to be, you can't just be in a church. So we're going to walk in the show. And he introduced all the male designers.
Can you tell people who Pastor Keon is?
Yeah.
I barely know who Pastor Keon is.
Pastor Keon has a super church. I guess that's what they would call it in Houston. But when he walked in my show, we're about the same age, so he was just this young man starting this this new church, and and because this was a long time ago. So now he has like a mega church. He has a big church. He like a modern day pastor. Okay. Yeah, the business is doing really good. I'm building good relationships with women that are of influence, bloggers and things like that. And everything is going, my brand is growing. Everything is going good. And my mother gets sick in 2011 with cancer, stage 4 cancer. And I always tell people, I don't care what you're going through in life, do not pause at a critical part of your business. It could actually be healing to keep going. But I froze. Like, I took my job continued to pay me. As I took care of my mom, I was able to be, my aunt did a lot of the work too, but I got like unemployment. I took care of my mom. Like, I froze on the work part of things. I almost felt guilty for even thinking about moving forward with things. Like, I turned down Rip the Runway. There was several I turned down. There was like a E segment. This is like the beginning of like the Kim Kardashian and them era. So timing is everything, right? So all of these things are happening. I'm like, I can't leave my mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't. I didn't care if it was for 2 days. And I did end up taking a break and coming out here to, take a little vacation or whatever. But my whole point is, I would tell an entrepreneur, if things are in the ebb and flow with your business, it's not always like that. So things are just hidden. God is a structure and order. That means keep going.
Yeah.
Everything is doing. Ignore what the devil will use to distract you. My mother would have wanted me to keep going. But I paused, and even after she passed away, when I moved out here, which was 2012, I just kind of, the store and stuff was still there, and whatever was on the website, I would ship to people, but I just didn't use a lot of energy. I didn't start using energy again till 2013. I started putting a little energy here and there back into the store. But I think I needed that mental break. But I would tell other people to push through that. Push through that, because the time where things are hidden like that, some of those, it's not about you not getting those moments back, right? We take it personal, like, oh, I have this moment, this thing, right? It's a collective. E-News ain't really what it used to be. Ain't no more BET Rip the Runway. And so all of that was all together, all of these creatives, all of these, you understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is there is no double backing to that. There are some situations that you can, that you're being put in that can push your career here, that if you don't take it right then, that particular situation, there's no doubling back to, because it's the end of their cycle as well.
I'm not gonna lie. So,
that's crazy, right?
Man, so I started the Rejuv-Nation podcast in 2015, and from 15 to like 17, we was on a run. Like, they was calling us the Breakfast Club of Connecticut. We got all my homies on the platform. There was a point in time when the team was there was a lot of friction. A lot of people kind of walked away.
But that's a distraction, right?
The distraction got me.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying, when we're young, like I was in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? So the distraction got me a little bit until I jumped back into it, you know, and then when I jumped back into it, what I realized about LA, which is not, I feel like there's more support on the East Coast, like New York, where there is the fashion, like, capital of America, is there was a lot of blackballing in LA when it came to that.
Still is?
Still is.
Okay, cool.
But it doesn't matter anymore. See, that's the monster is a monster because it matters. If the monster don't matter, you're an ant. You're not even a monster. No, like, who are you? You don't even stop anything, right? So what I noticed when I came back home is it was a lot of competitive energy. Not just from people from LA, but from people that weren't from here. There wasn't a lot of togetherness like it was in Houston, Atlanta, because these were the women and the people I had been working with when I was in Houston pertaining to fashion. And so when I got here, it was like, this is different. But I've never been the person that begs for the seat at somebody else's table.
Make my own.
So that's exactly what I did. I didn't even waste time. I didn't beg for nobody's seat. I felt and seen the energy. I put myself out there. I went to networking events. I went to all of these things. I'm like, they don't have to say a word. I feel it. Don't nobody have to say nothing. And then another thing, who I was married to in the industry, he's very known. So I feel like when I was here, people thought, oh, she just thinks she deserves a seat because of who her husband is. You understand what I'm saying? Not knowing that I've been putting in the work before I even knew
been bossed up.
Before I knew him. You know what I'm saying? So, and yes, he did open certain doors and stuff for me, but let's go back to this. In LA, and this is early on when I first got here, so like 2012, 2013, okay? 2014. There was no women that showed me favor in any way.
Wow.
Not in LA. It was a very eerie, weird feeling. And so what I did was I was like, I want to create a space where women can be excited and feel comfortable to work with each other. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to show my collection, and not just women, just people in the industry. That are working to be in the industry, that are getting the same energy I'm getting. And my partner at the time was a high school friend named Evita. And me and Evita and the brand 7 Percenters, we did a show in Santa Monica. When we did that show, it was probably 30 people that came to that show. But we loved the energy that we had amongst each other. And we loved the energy that the models had. And we loved the 3 little makeup artists that came and helped us backstage. Like, we loved it. I'm like, me and Evita got together like, we got to do this again. And so 7%ers is about who you know. Again, this is a man. And I keep saying the difference between men and women because I want women to see how we look when we're ugly towards each other. Ooh. Because when God favors you, sis, you don't have to help me. Somebody will. Yeah. If I even need the help. Right. Somebody will. So the owner of 7%er, Steve, was like, listen, I got the hook up at this bomb venue that don't nobody even really do events at yet. You can do a big fashion show there. In my head, I'm like, we can pull off a big fashion show? Yeah. Like in LA? Like, is 30 people going to show up in here? Like, I don't want this big venue and then 30 people show up. That is not what happened. We did this venue at the very first 1010 Wilshire. It's 2 of them now. But the first one, we did it before people started filming on BET for it. We did it before people started filming on all the little reality shows for it. We did an event at the rooftop at the 1010 Wilshire. And they did it, they sponsored it for us and did it for us for free. And we did the event for free. I gotta say this, y'all, hold on. So I've always been good at marketing. Like marketing myself, even when I was a dancer, like I've always been good at marketing, right? So no cover was the way that I built the following. Okay. Steve had a plug to where it was a sponsor for alcohol where it's an open bar. So you can go to this free event in the summertime, rooftop, open bar, fashion show, live DJ playing, beautiful weather. Was packed. It had to have been at least 300-400 people on that roof. Jeez. Bomb show. This was just my second show. Yeah. And then I named it the Movement LA, and I went from there. It was the Movement LA times 7%ers because he pretty much sponsored a bulk of the show. I said, oh, like, oh my God. Yeah. It had a feeling. This is how you know you have a brand on your hand. It grew faster than I thought of it. The brand grew. It took on wheels.
On its own.
So I had to catch up to the wheels like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me get this LLC. Let me get it
structured. Hold on.
Hold on here. You know what I'm saying? So I have to do that. And then once I did that, once I created that table for myself, and at the time Evita too, once we did that, then it was the Boss's Brunch. Oh. That was huge. Oh. We had the Boss's Brunch. We had Maxine Waters there. We had Dr. Bryant, the one going viral. Ooh. She spoke. Sis is doing amazing right now. It was about 200 women there. So what we did was we did the brunch early in the day. We did the fashion show later. Huge turnout. My whole point is the brand is going. We're getting more designers wanting to be a part of it. By the time, I'm going to say third show, we started selling tickets. Third show, I feel like the tickets was like $20. It was at the 1010. It was even bigger. It had 500 to 600 people. It took on wheels. After that, when we did another one, that's when we did the brunch with the fashion show. $60 tickets. So as the seasons grew, and we were able to provide better sponsors, better designers, just a better experience all the way around. Like I said, y'all, I have been keeping up to the Movement LA. The Movement LA be dancing to its own beat. Yeah. And so sometimes people look at the Movement LA like, how is she doing that? How is it that she's still able to blah, blah, blah. God obviously wanted the Movement LA because the Movement LA takes on wheels of its own, and I'm just following directions at this point. You know what I'm saying? Next year, I won't be doing the spring show for LA because we're doing Houston, Chicago, Dubai, and Greece. Jeez. So y'all won't see us again till next November. If I can. Yeah.
Right.
If God say so.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that type of brand is something that you like. And even with the name, it just kind of, it rung kind of through the city.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Can you expand a little bit on the build-up, right? So I feel like a lot of people, and this is something that I go through, it's like people like, oh, yeah, I'm going to help you, but I didn't get paid today. And you're like, bro, this is...
Well, then, okay, so let's start there.
Yeah.
Rewind. When starting, you're working with people, you come up with this concept, and they have to love the concept just as much as you. And they got to literally say things, okay, we're going to go on this ride. And when it starts making money, then we all get paid. If that's not the type of team that's at the table, that's not a part of your, that's not it.
Even if it's not theirs.
Even if it's not theirs. Go find somebody else that's willing to do it. Yeah. Hey, this is what I came up with. I'm looking for a solid team. This is the beginning. But if we can do two, if let's say it's an event, if you can be along with me for, give me 2 or 3 events. After that, as the brand makes money, I promise you I'll pay you. Yeah. If I get a sponsor sooner than that, I'll pay you sooner than that. And this is what I'll be able to pay you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And stick to that. Stick to that. Paris Harris and Kendrick did not start off getting paid with the Movement LA. Okay. They did it for the love and they believed in the brand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I always said that when I'm able to pay you, I'm going to pay you. And so for the last, 4 years, we get 2 shows a season. So the last 8 shows, you know, they good. But what I'm saying is they were there when, I mean, I could have gave them something, I guess, but it would have been an insult of what I would have been able to give. So pretty much they did a love offering. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like with all of us, and I'm not just saying that to say, oh, come work for these brands for free. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like there is some area in your life where there needs to be a love offering. What are you sowing into? How are you an asset to earth? Why does God have you here? Yeah. Why you deserve to live? Let's talk about how precious life is. Yeah. What am I here for? How am I an asset to earth? How am I an asset here? And if I'm not, how can I be? Start small with yourself. Yeah. So I've been that person. You understand? I've been that person when I was at 9 to 5s. When I just told y'all the story about how I started off in property management. I started off in property making the least of everybody there. I was the newbie. Yeah. And I worked the most off hours. That's a love offering. Yeah. I did not get paid commission like the rest of the agents. I had no experience. For 1 year, I sacrificed and I did that. I think I was making, come on, from pharmaceuticals to property management, I was making $10 an hour. Oof. With 3 kids. Yeah. That was a love offering to myself. People thought, oh, you sacrificing. I would have stayed at the pharmacy. I was unhappy. Yeah. I was sacrificing my peace. Yeah. For 1 year, I did that. And the person that interviewed told me, if you work with me for 1 year, you'll be able to go to anywhere in the city and they'll hire you and they'll pay you what you asked for. He said it and he didn't lie. Yeah. I left that job, and every job I left after that paid me more and more and more and more. Not just hourly, my commissions was right. My insurance was right. Before I knew it, I was making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But I have worked with other brands. I've worked with other brands that I won't necessarily name right now, but I worked with people for free because I believed in what they had going on. Yeah. I believed in what they had going on, and I got something out of it. I learned from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've worked for a magazine company. I've even done, I will shout out to Curb Empowerment because that's one of my friends. So she's done stuff for my brand for free, and I've worked with her brand for free and didn't think nothing of it. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Absolutely. So I have done that. My stylist that comes and styles my collection every season, and now she shows her collection, Candy, offered her time for free. She was already a celebrity stylist. She was already working on set.
Yeah.
She was already working on set.
Shout out to Candy.
Shout out to Candy. And she's not like this Instagram person where she want everybody to know who she worked with and post her clients all day and all that. No, she's secret right now.
Yeah, going crazy.
Rat coming on set to herself.
Right.
Candy, I have to tell it. I know you be trying to stay low key because this is my point. I want to work with. This was her thing. I want to work with them. I believe in that brand. I love what that sister down there in LA doing. She's not even from here. She lives in San Diego. She came to one of my events, snuck backstage, and started styling people.
Shut up.
Kendrick, my runway coordinator, gets into it with her. Who are you? You got to get from back here. Blah, blah. He's going off like, what the hell is going on here? I come backstage. Hold on. What's going on?
Yeah.
Miss Kisha, I know you're busy running around. I can get your girls dressed. I can style them. I just looked at her in the eyes. I say, Kendrick, calm down. I said, okay. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah.
I stepped back and I finished working. I left from backstage.
Yeah.
When my set came up for my girls was ready, lined up. She had the footage for me. She had the everything was in order. I'm like, oh my God, what's this lady? So the next time I did a show, I called her like, hey, Candy, I would love for you to come style. I don't have a crazy budget. She said, if you could just pay for my gas. She didn't need the gas money. It's the principle. Give me something for my services.
Yeah.
If you could just pay for my gas. I said, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she came and she styled the show that we did at the Garden. At the first show we did at the Rose Garden. It was so bomb. And she styled the girls, and it was just amazing. And I think I'm going to send you clips so you can put them in.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And after that next show we did at the new 1010, which was so bomb. She came, and it was kind of the same thing. If you could just pay for my gas, but I ended up paying her that time. I didn't say nothing. I just, cashed out for her. She's like, I really appreciate it. Like, why is she appreciative for getting paid for something she did? But I understand it. You know what I'm saying? But from then on, it was like, okay, yeah, I want her on my team.
Can I ask you a question based off of that? Because I feel like I go through that sometimes, and I also feel other entrepreneurs who are either embarking or emerging. It's like, when do you actually realize that you're expert at what you do, where you can put a tag on it?
I don't feel like I'm an expert. I have so much more to learn. So many more I's to dot and T's to cross. I'm still learning. Every season I learn something new.
Yeah.
And I think Candy saw the movement in LA and was like, that is a nice event. That is a beautiful event. But on the flip side of that, she wanted to get to know, and she'll tell you this, like, I wanted to get to know that lady. Who is this lady running this? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this lady? And I think that she didn't need to do it. She had jobs. She didn't need to do it. Something she wanted to do. So I don't even know if Candy realized that. Like, that was a love offering. God blessed her back 100-fold for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't, and it causes me to treat her a certain way now too. Like, how I handle her and how I may handle someone else could be very much different.
Yeah.
She may receive grace in an area that you may not receive that grace. Because she showed me grace when I needed a stylist backstage styling my girls, and I didn't have the budget for it. And I didn't ask her. She just came back there and was like, she's out there running a show. How's she going to get these girls dressed? She saw a need and she met the need.
That's it, yeah.
So, and that goes for if you see somebody and you want to get in this industry and there's a need that needs to be met and you see it, do it. And see what they say.
Can I please I gotta give a shout out to my dog, Jersey, man. So, like, that sounds like a Kenny. Like, man, I met Jersey probably the first year or two I moved out here. Just great energy from when I met him. And then we just set it up, and I didn't see him for another year. Went back to the event again, seen him again, and we just locked in. I'm like, yo, bro, I remember your energy from last time, yo. Like, let's sit down and have, and we literally sat down, had a conversation, and I kind of told him a little bit what I'm working on. He told me his experience, and from that day, we've been locked in. Like, we done had to go to events together, and I was down on my ass. I didn't have $1, and he was like, yo, I got you, boom. Yeah. Here goes yo, you need a memory card, boom. Bro brought a camera. Like, brought a camera to invest into my brand because he sees my brand as his brand. That's what I mean.
Like, people will be placed in your life. See, there are takers. Takers never really give.
Yeah.
And then there are people that have this perfect balance between give and take, right? Because they're not in it to use you for anything. There is a yin-yang to it. And it's not, oh, now it's your turn to do something for me. It's genuine from their heart. But a taker is going to take. So what we have to decide, we have to learn to say no to certain things, right? Especially if you're a giver. So with your friend doing that for you, in your head, already in the back of your head, you can't wait to pay it forward.
What?
You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't wait to pay it forward. Sure. So I think that sometimes when people don't have that, we have to recognize that that's who they are and believe them.
You know, you keep talking about love offering too. I think this is even a love offering. Like, you offering your time. Like, yeah, this is going to give you some exposure too, but, you know, you meeting me and then for some way, somehow, me still being in your life over time to the point where, like...
Well, this man was not playing. He was like, we're going to get you this insurance. We're going to get you your finances.
All that, the budget planning and everything.
And, like, he can't, again, that's another, like what Candy did, like, he didn't come in, this is how much I charge to do X, Y, Z. Keisha, this is what I can do, and when you're ready for this, let me know, and I'll provide the service, right? So what I'm saying is, I pay attention to people like that. Some days I wasn't even available. You would reschedule this. You would reschedule, like, no, like, this is important. Like, I'm still going to get a trust for my grandbaby. You understand what I'm saying? So that goes back to what I was saying is, how are you an asset to the people around you? How are you an asset to the people around you? If there was a way for me to do what you were having me do and me paying a year later, you would have done it, submitted it, and then got, but there's not. Certain things have to be
put in place.
So but that's what I'm saying. So God sees your heart. Like, he took it as far as he can take it. Now he has to wait for her to respond to that, right? So that's what we're here to do. Like, shout out to my brother Curtis. He has Soul Saving Productions. And I posted something on my page the other day, and it wasn't to offend because the holidays are coming up, and now you're seeing all these people downtown like, we give for the holidays, and we do this and we do this, and we take them, like, y'all literally come. Yeah, we know when the holidays are coming because y'all get the posting this stuff. And I shouted out my brother, and I was like, shout out to you for being an asset to the community and making it your life. My grandfather did it. That was my dad's dream. My father passed at 43, so he didn't get to fulfill that part of his dream, but he always did give back, but not at the level of, like, what my brother is doing right now, right?
I get your brother up here too.
Yes,
I got your brother up here,
So what I'm saying is, like, and people know him down there.
He pull up, put respect on it.
You know what I'm saying? Him and Miss Shirley, is that her name?
Miss
Shirley. Miss Shirley. I opened up TikTok the other day. Curtis on there downtown. Well, they call him James. James, 7,000 people in the live. James, that's you a whole celebrity, and he don't care nothing about it. Somebody else had his phone. Let me tell y'all, this is another thing. Focus on the gift. Focus on what God is telling you to do. All the other stuff will come. He don't care about that. Unless you, what is it called? Like GoFundMe or whatever. He just got a house in LA, a transitional house for people where he's able to house people. Like, unless it's something for that, it's like, he's like, and I'm like, bro, we need to have somebody handling your social media though, because that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. So you need to have, like, for real, like, PR mindset in your head. Because Curtis on the live, this lady walks up. You already know. He don't, and I guess that's why they love him so much. Like, he said, now you was in rehab. What happened? Why you back down here? The lady, but you know, my husband died. And they lied in the comments. She telling the story. She ain't telling, because she just out there, you know. Yeah. He said, oh, did he? Yeah. Okay, but you was in rehab. He cut right over all the emotional stuff. Yeah. Okay, give me a hug. He passed me. He rest in peace. But for you was in rehab. Yeah. You come talk to me when you ready to go back to rehab and sent her on the way. Like, don't come over here. Because we're supposed to be getting you in order, right?
Shout out to the Warriors. Shout out to my boy.
To the Warriors, because they got to be down there.
Yo, shout out to my boy Clint. Shout out to my boy Mike from FLTA. They're doing some phenomenal things. They brought me on board to help out. I can't wait to be a part of that. But, man, I need to connect them with
you got to, like, you got to. It's Curtis. I'll be like, Curtis, that's not my ministry. My ministry is like to donate stuff to you to give to them. Yeah. My ministry is not
to be
down there every week like that. Like, I was literally, like, I would go help the City Eats before Curtis started. Have you heard of them?
No.
They're from Oakland, but they would come down like twice a year and do like a huge feed in downtown LA. Mm-hmm. And so I would go help my homeboy. We went to school with him. Be like, you have to do spring cleaning anyway. Yeah. Spring clean that house, clean all the clothes that we're getting rid of, shoes, whatever. Take it down there. You'll be amazed how much people appreciate that.
I see.
That type of, and I think people were misunderstanding Pastor Cleon last week.
Come on, correct him then.
So certain gifts that you give is a seed that grows in certain areas, right? Like, you giving to the homeless, God sees your heart. He loves you for that, and there's a place in heaven for you. Yeah. And it is our duty to take care of our sisters and brothers. So that's not the same as sowing in a growing ground.
Yeah. Okay.
Growing ground, money is energy. It's gonna come back. Yeah. It's gonna come back. Yeah. That's different. It's like an investment. Yeah. It's gonna come back, as long as you're doing it with a pure heart. Absolutely. That's what he was trying to say. He wasn't trying to say it means nothing to give to the homeless. What he was saying, if you're giving to them to expect some blessing in return, they have nothing to return to you, sweetheart.
Yeah, you're in the wrong area, looking in the wrong alley. Yeah.
That's what he was trying to say.
Absolutely. So,
because some people will say, "Oh, I pay my tithes by giving to," and listen. Hey, however you choose to give back to the world, that is your business. I am not, but I'm trying to explain what he was trying to say. And it even goes to get sowing into a dead church. Oops, did I say that? If you sow into a dead church, it's not where it's gonna grow. How it's going? It's frequency. Y'all don't go based off just what you're learning when you go and you sit down in church and they're teaching you. Please go home and study and show yourself approved. Yeah. If that's your belief, show yourself approved. Don't let nobody tell you nothing about your God and your religion or whatever you're on. Study so that you know. So I understood exactly what he was saying, but I was like, that came off. It came off. I can see how people could think that's what he meant. Like, I knew what he meant, and I could see people that thought like me that was trying to fit. I'm like, I'm not going to these comments trying to fix this. Pastor Kim, you're going to have to do another video and try to explain.
I'm about to go look it up.
Yeah, so it's my whole point was sow into areas that's going to grow what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's going to grow. That's going to grow you.
Couple things. One, if anyone's interested, talking about donating, shout out to my cousin Kadisha. She's helping me with the nonprofit out in Connecticut. But we're coming up with this. Well, shout out to her grandmother for real, because she came up with the idea. But she goes around and she gets boxes, like sneaker boxes, shoe boxes, and she has people put like resources in them, and then she sends them to third world countries. I think Kadisha said last year for Christmas they sent off 1,500 boxes. So we're going to implement that into the nonprofit, both in Connecticut and here. So as that time progresses, I'm be looking out for partners. If anyone wants to, like she said, do some spring cleaning, you got a favorite jacket you ain't wearing in 5 years, it just look good, then maybe it's your time to give that to someone that actually needs it. So
yes, indeed.
I'll be reaching more into that. And then
Yes, indeed.
I wanted to, because we could talk about everything forever. I want to talk about where you at now. So we talked about the beginning of the movement in LA. Now I want to talk about where you at now, coming up on this show. What's it? And it's, correct me, 15 years?
15 seasons.
15. Okay, break it down. Break down the difference.
So there's 2 seasons a year.
A year. Okay.
So that's 8 years.
All right. Still, 8 years. They say a small business doesn't make it past 5, right?
Yeah, I keep telling y'all the movement LA was like, girl, come on.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Because I prayed and I asked God to bless me with the wisdom to prepare a table for myself and my loved ones.
Yes.
Because I really wanted to continue to work within the fashion field, and it wasn't very welcoming in LA at first. Now it's a lot of people that don't mind working with me, want to work with me.
Yeah. Because you built the name up.
I built the name up. But now, we talked about this earlier, now I'm so like into my family and been getting land and enjoying listening to the birds and stuff. It's like,
yeah,
I'm very particular about my energy. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
So tell me, through everything that you made through, what should we expect? And honestly, I would love for you to, real quick play-by-play. If someone's like, man, I want to put on a fashion show today, next season, I want to be the next Kisha. I'm inspired. I feel good about it.
I want you to be the next you. Let's start there.
All right, start there. Be the next you, not the next Kisha.
Because not even my daughters can be the next me. I want them to be the best them that God created them to be. I would say I don't think there is a blueprint to success. And there are several ways to go about things that we do in life. I would say to that question, find out if it's something you love or if you're doing it for business purposes only. It's not going to have the same outcome as I had to do. I'm going to say I could see where other brands had to put more work than I had to put in to produce my shows than they put in. Not saying I didn't put in a lot of work, but when you're doing it from your heart, God, you retain favor with people that you didn't ask for. So I would say make sure this is something you really love to do so that you're not spinning your wheels. I'm watching somebody right now that I've been knowing a while just wasting money. Yeah. Doing it for the money, but it's wasting money. It's not really doing what she thought it would do. Yeah. So I would say let's start there at the foundation of that. Understand exactly what you want out of it. Okay. And then from there, I would say, are you doing it for you, for your brand? That's different from doing like a fashion week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing it for you and your brand, I would say focus on the fashion part and being a creative and hire someone in to produce your show. Ooh, okay. So it's done properly, and then you don't have to go through all the hiccups I went through. Yeah. But if you want to create a fashion week, I would say put on some free events, build up your clientele, and see if people even like you like that. See if they like your brand. It's not personal. See if they like your brand like that. Yeah. So remember, I told you guys earlier that we did those shows for free. You know what I mean? And after that third show, I have never had to do another show for free after the third one.
Can I ask on top, like?
So I made no money. I was in the red. Let's be very clear. See, this is what I'm saying. Don't do things you don't love, because once you get in the red and you didn't love it, you're sick. I loved it. Yeah. I loved it so much that I continued to work my 9 to 5. Yeah. So, and then once I stopped working my 9 to 5, was I in the red on one of those shows that I wasn't working the 9 to 5? Yeah, that third show, I had already quit, and I was in the red. But I had a husband. Because I need for us to stop being silly.
I had support.
That's a clip I need.
You got it.
Then y'all want to get on TikTok. Now, I need money, y'all, to feed me and my kids and pay for this apartment. I'm a starving entrepreneur. Go to work.
Yeah.
Go to work.
Yeah. Go to get a job. Hey, let me say one thing, and I've been seeing a lot of people promoting it. It's okay to have a job and still have a...
Yes.
I have a career, and I plan on being my career for however long I can be. But while I'm in this career, I'm also got my businesses that I'm as passionate about, and I'm putting more work into.
Have several sources of income coming in. Yeah. That's what I would. Okay, so I would say this: if you are at the point like you just said in your entrepreneurship, I would say this is the test. If your brand can sustain your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Or a lifestyle that you're willing to live. Like let's say you're willing to go from a 3-bedroom house to a 1-bedroom apartment to get your business going. Mm-hmm. If it could pay for that 1-bedroom apartment in your car, I would say do it. Yeah. Give all your time to your business. What triggered me to quit my job here, wow, we're in this studio right now, but it's the job I was working was in this building. Full circle. Yeah. What caused me to give my notice is my boss came in super excited, telling me that I made the business $2.3 million in 6 months. Mm-hmm. And I was excited with her, y'all. Yeah. What kind of bonus? What do I get? Mm-hmm. Nothing. That's part of your job. I want to do it for myself. Mm. I just looked at her. I said, yeah, it is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Why be mad at her? She ain't the owner of this particular management company. Mm-hmm. I said, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Let me go do this for myself. Let me tell y'all something. Stop letting your ego make your decisions. Right now, today, I'm bi-coastal between LA and New York. I'm going to tell you this right now. I got so many connections with jobs in Houston because that was where I did most of my work at, mm-hmm. because remember I moved to Houston at 19. Mm-hmm. If I need to take my ass to work today, guess what I'm gonna do? Right. Like, let's stop. Yeah. Entrepreneurship. Silliness.
Yeah, entrepreneurship is
not for the weak. Yeah. But what I will say is, if you can sustain, if you can do it, if there's funding out there. We was just talking about that earlier. About the smartest thing is, I wouldn't say fund your own business. Get the grants, get your credit right, get the bank loans, get investors,
get other people's money.
Get other people's money that and flip it properly. Get your husband's money and flip it properly.
Ladies,
listen to me. I can change our lifestyle because you gave me some money. Hold on, I hate to do this. I can't think of this lady's name. Forbes, if you go to Forbes page, they highlighted her last month. Made her husband, and her kids the richest people in their state. Her husband had a dream of being the top real estate person, so she invested in him having his own real estate company. She was taking money from her 9-to-5, invested in him. 10 years it was a struggle. 10. Mm-hmm. Her kids don't work. They are the richest family in that state. It's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Ain't we one? Ain't that what it's supposed to be? You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times, and this is why I slowed up on the brunches, and people don't know this. I slowed up on the brunches because I felt like I knew their real stories, but they wasn't getting on that panel and being transparent so that these other entrepreneurs can understand it's not this them, they're not going crazy. This is a part of the journey. Yeah. Oh, I started my business with $5. Nobody gave me nothing. Your favorite entrepreneur had a man that loved her and supported her. I know a lot of them personally. Yeah. I'm not saying he made her rich, but he was like, oh, okay, you need your first batch of wholesale clothes? Okay, I'm going to invest $500. I'll do that every month for you. That's an investment. Because now you have the product. Now all your pretty self got to do is put on these clothes, open up your social media, and say, come buy this, y'all, and be a little blogger and sell your stuff. And then that turns into this big business. Kudos to everyone that has done that, that is doing that. But let's be very honest when we're talking to these young women about starting their brands. Let's not start our brands with our own money.
Absolutely.
You can be your own investor. But if I were you, coming from somebody that's been an entrepreneur since 2010, we in 24 right now, I wouldn't advise. The easiest part of my entrepreneurship was my ex-husband picking up where I slacked.
Talk about that.
You can't be everything to your company. You don't know everything. Remember we talked about the website before? Now that my friend invested and was like, hey, we're going to get your license today. Hey, I know somebody that can do your website. Pay them $300. Changed my whole brand.
Yeah.
You understand? So let's get back to what you're saying. Like, he had a lot of relationships. If I needed a DJ, if I needed a venue, if I wanted a celebrity artist to perform at a show, you know what I'm saying? Just me sitting in certain rooms with him prior. Now remember, y'all, I had already traveled the world and been around all of your favorite artists, rode on the tour buses with them, got on airplanes with them, from Biggie to the list is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Had already did that as a child. But as a child, I didn't really know how to build on these relationships. I'm having fun. I'm touring the world and getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So, but as an adult, what I can say, what my ex did is he did not leave me out of rooms that he knew could help me. So sometimes it's not even a financial help. Sometimes, let me put her in this room and see what she's going to do with the room. One time, y'all, I have the funniest story ever. We're at the studio, but I'm irritated and I'm hungry. I'm being a woman, okay? What is going on? Who are you meeting with today? And he happened to be meeting with Master P that day. Who still listens to Master P? Y'all, I'm being a little ready to go. Sleepy and hungry. Not knowing. Y'all see where these pictures are? Master P standing right there. You know what my husband do? Because he had already kept saying, Kisha, whenever you want to like outburst some stuff, wait till we get back to the car, like when we go in certain places. And this day I have been doing good, but this day I was just like, you could have took me to get something to eat, you know, just throwing a damn tantrum. He let it happen. He didn't tap me on the leg.
No, nothing.
That man sat right there. He said, He said, well, Kisha, Master P is a good businessman. Like, what are you like? And I'm now it's like two other males in the room, and they kind of letting it happen too, like. And I'm like, what? Everything I'm saying, it was true, but I noticed nobody was really agreeing with me. Why are y'all so quiet? So he walks around. Now, granted, I didn't know how long he was for. All I knew, he could have just walked in at the moment. I thought he had just. So he walked on. Hey, how y'all doing? I speak. Everybody, hey, what's up? They talking to him. I speak. And I'm still mad because I'm hungry. Sitting up in here with Master P. I'm ready to go. Y'all have to understand, that's normal. It was, for all I know, we could have just left Snoop's studio. This is what I'm saying. It was a way of life, right? So it was just like, oh, I'm hungry. Master P like sat across from me, kind of like where the camera is. And he was like, well, hi, what's your name? Now, I didn't know till we got in the car that man had been standing there for so long, y'all. Now, for all I know, he just walked in. And I'm like, I'm fine. And he could tell I was tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just hungry, blah, blah, blah. He was like, well, what do you do for a living? And I told him, and I'm telling them about K Waters Fashions. If your eyes don't bright up about your brand, people won't feel it. So my energy shifted from I'm irritated and hungry to, oh, this is my brand and this is what I do. And I worked with this person. And he wasn't talking about music. Like most artists would have walked in and started talking to the ex-husband like, okay, what we getting into, what we working on. But he's talking to me about, but I didn't know he had been. And I feel like he taught my ex-husband a lesson too. Like, you don't have to sit up and argue with no woman.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to do that. So he's talking to me about, he's like, yeah. So, his daughter used to be on, is it Nickelodeon or Disney, the one that passed, may she rest in peace? Yeah. She's like a big star, like a kid star. Yeah. So he was like, I would love for you. He said, let me see your work. I gave him my work. He said, here's my number. We exchanged numbers. He's like, I want you to style my daughter.
That's hard.
You want to know what that taught me? What my mama told me when I was a little. We talked about this on the other podcast, not on this one. Yeah. You don't sit up and talk about people that got more than you. And you don't know what favor God got on. You don't sit up and talk about people, period. But don't sit up and talk about what you really don't know. Even in your frustrations. Yeah. Even in I was frustrated about food. It had nothing to do with that man. Yeah. It had nothing to do with Master P, y'all. I was frustrated about food. And we ended up communicating more than him and my ex-husband. Yeah. So what it taught me was, like he said, walk in these rooms and shut up. Yeah. And just, observe the room, like feel the energy of the room first. And I don't know why I was so hungry that day. Like, I remember like it was yesterday. It was like, oh my God, like I'm starving. I don't know how you're not starving. Right. But it's time to eat. Yeah, we gotta get going. And I think my fear was, you're going to get in this studio and work 12 hours straight on a beat. And you could have left me at the house to eat. You so silly.
Her face like,
yeah, that's what we could have did. Yeah. But my whole point is, like, y'all, you never know where your next blessing gonna come from. And he gave me so many. I cut the story really short. Let's get to the seriousness of it. He gave me so many business jewels that day that I took and applied. It goes back to what you just asked me. What would you do from beginning to end? There is no black and white. Yeah. What to do from beginning to end. What is your energy towards this brand? What do you want to put into it? And then write it down, make it plain, and then come to somebody like me and say, hey, I'm serious about this. I would love to do this in this particular part of the world. How can I make this a success? What I will tell you, I don't care what kind of brand you have. If you have a brand that causes you to pull people in a room together, do your first couple events for free. Even BM, how we met. Yeah. Like they started off the same way. They was pulling in entrepreneurs, sending us out emails, coming, let's network. Now you may need to go on there and get you a little ticket, but
hey, I'm on the board. Pull up to the next VPN event.
Go on and get that. Go on and pay for that ticket. Do not slide in that man DM. Go on and get that ticket because it's going to a good cause, and they have a team that they need to pay.
Absolutely.
So it's going into the red. So if you go into the red and you have a nervous breakdown, even when I see like people doing what they love to do in life, but they work for a company and they love what to do, and something happens and they're struggling financially. You probably wouldn't be having a nervous breakdown if you really loved what you did.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. That's how I feel about my brand.
You understand what I'm saying? So like when I was in the red for those first 3 years, I was like, okay. But I just knew in my soul, like, this going to be a problem.
Man, this going
to be a deal.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, like this last year, I had to really work through how I like to communicate, how I like to be communicated, what we offer, what's our services, what we like, what we don't like. But I'm telling you, what we got right now, I'm like, man, it's going to get blessed regardless.
That's it. And that's what I was going to tell you. What I need for you to know is be okay with some people not liking you. And that's personal to you. Like, be okay with some people not liking you. And pay attention. If somebody don't like you, let's say this person over here don't like you for whatever reason, whatever they're saying happened between y'all. And y'all have a mutual. but you've always, like, you and this mutual have always done good business. Whoever y'all refer to each other has always been clean, good work. And pay attention to how if the mutual stands on business when it pertains to you, and if they don't. That'll help you make a lot of your decisions in business. Don't let people be lukewarm with you.
Listen.
Don't allow people to be lukewarm with you.
Can I just say that you just answered a prayer of mine?
What?
I swear on my life.
It was just in me to just say that, like, you gotta not let people. One friend, I actually said it because I don't think she realized it. I said, hey, we've done business before several years. Have I ever did you away? No. Anybody that you've referred to me, have I ever did them away? No. I said, it makes me feel a way that you even entertain in conversations with them people. Sometimes you just gotta say it. Sometimes you just gotta say it.
With your chest.
With your chest. Like, why would you do that? Have me personally, I don't care what they're saying.
Yeah,
have I ever did you away? Have the people that you've referred to me went back and told you that I've done them away? No.
Right.
No, they haven't.
Right.
So let's not, even as people, we need to be slow to gravitate to mess. Hey, especially if it's secondhand.
I'm gonna tell you this. We done shot 2 episodes, two different series, and on both of them, I done learned some personal gems and some business gems.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I learned is that I'm not wrong. Like, but
Wait, what sign are you?
I'm Cancer.
You're a Cancer? He's like, I'm actually not wrong about this.
Like, really just like, what you saying to me, I'm like, bro, I've been feeling that though.
Yeah,
I've been thinking that.
If you feel like with this the mutual, that you would stand on business about them, and you don't think they're standing on business and they're trying their best to stay in this gray area. Oh, I went, because, yeah, some things in life, not everything, but with some things in life, it depends on if it affects you, your brand, or whatever. I'm sorry. Yeah, you got to choose a side, because I'm going to choose. Mm-hmm. Can't nobody come to me and talk about certain people to me.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Even associates in business. There are certain people that's associates in business. You can't come to me and talk about that person because that person ain't never did me nothing dirty. Yeah. And you're in. First of all, you wouldn't be able to even tell me the full story.
Right.
Who are you talking about? Oh, nah. That's my, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Go talk to somebody else about it. I'm sorry. That's not my personal experience. I'm sorry. I'm not dismissing your feelings, but that's not my personal experience. Yeah. And maybe you should go work it out with that person. Yeah. There are some people in business that I just, you can't come to me and talk about them.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I know one that can't nobody come to me and talk about Roxy.
Shout out to my dog Roxy. Come on.
Can't nobody come to me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what she. No. Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know. Because you want to know what I'm going to do? I'm going to end the conversation. I'm not going to even know what she did to you. Yeah. First of all. Yeah. I'm not going to know.
Yeah.
And when I have the time, because I have a life, I'll reach out to her like, hey, I don't know what's going on, but this person tried to slander your name. She didn't even get to tell me her side of the story. I just want you to know that you ain't even got to tell me what's going on. I want you to know that she came to me and tried to slander your name. Yeah. That's it. I am not about to, and that's across the board with anybody that I care about or I fool with in business. Whatever it is, I'm not entertaining. I'm very black and white about certain things. And I'm not entertaining. And I'm not saying be out here having arguments with people and stuff. I'm saying it's okay. We're adults to not fool with people that you feel like don't mean you good. Y'all are not an asset to each other. Right. Sometimes an asset is being able to call a person and have a good conversation with them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever that is, if y'all don't bring light to each other, it's okay. You be over there, I'm gonna be over here. Absolutely. And I can actually watch you win from like I can root for you and know that we don't get along. I can do it from over here.
And that way I'm not in your space messing up your junk.
I'm not gonna speak nothing ill up or down.
Period.
I'm not gonna do it.
Period.
So it's just important with business relationships.
Personal too. Anything.
Personal too. But I've learned so much with owning this company. You're gonna have some up and downs.
Yeah.
2020, early 2024, no, November of last year, the biggest show, but backstage it was the most heartbreaking things happening.
You want to talk about it?
I don't know if I'm ready.
Okay,
but I will say, my whole point of bringing that up is that this was 13, that was 13 seasons in. This is an established business at that time. So anything can happen at any time. Watch the company you keep in. Watch the energy that's around you. Make sure they're for you. Make sure they are for you and they're 10 toes down about it.
Yeah.
And can't no pennies pull y'all apart. That's another thing. Can't no penny, because then you'll be able to see, oh, I was an asset to you, but you wasn't an asset to me. So when those moments in your business happen, it's gonna let you know if you love it.
Yeah.
It's gonna make you or break you.
Like we said, like my boy Nip said, I done felt every emotion.
I didn't feel every, and you have to feel it to heal it.
Yeah.
You have to feel it to heal it. So now I can look back and say, damn, I got through that. I'm good over here. Like I got through that. It was more emotional for me. It was more like, really, y'all?
That's how you feel.
That's how you feel.
For my shit.
I wouldn't play with you like that, cause I fool with you. See, that's the difference between solid people and people that ain't solid.
Man.
And so I've also, and they might be solid in their own way, but we ain't on the same.
Yeah.
We ain't on the
Frequency.
same frequency. Like I'm really big on no flip flop.
Man.
If you did something to annoy me, I'm gonna get quiet for a minute, and then I'm gonna come to you and talk to you about it. That comes with maturity. Like, we're adults. Why would I call somebody else?
Yeah, when it's between me and you.
When you're the one that frustrated me. Now I might vent to my best friend, but she don't even know it. She was like, oh, it's her business stuff again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. She just gonna listen.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be no like. It's not gonna be anything that's gonna affect your business.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So we just gotta be careful how you move, because it circles back, y'all.
Yeah.
And just because you don't see people going through stuff, because people are posting their highlights on social media.
Yeah.
It's a highlight reel.
Yeah, they ain't posting losses.
It's a highlight, and the people that do, it's after they've won it back again, after they've gotten past it or whatever. But don't judge yourself, or don't be too hard on yourself based off what you see on social media. I don't really scroll that much. Yeah. To the point that my algorithm is so hilarious right now.
It's all over the place.
No. Oh. It's literally like, we know that she's going to probably like these 10 people's posts.
Is it?
We don't even know. After that, it's going to show me random folks that I don't even know. It don't even show me the people I follow for real. It show me them 10 people.
Yeah.
Like she don't care to see it.
Yeah.
The algorithm is smart.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be tapping the AI.
It's
right
crazy.
Now.
Yeah, like I don't, and I'm okay with that. And I don't be knowing what other people got going on. I don't ask other people about what other people got going on. Yeah. Like, I don't. The amount of care that I don't give is top tier. But I need for people to know and that's where your blessing come from. Yeah. Stop worrying about God's other children. If y'all ain't working together or loving on each other or building each other up, focus on the people that you are doing that for and that is doing that for you. Don't. Why would you do that?
Don't go for
You got time for that? You ain't doing too good, huh?
Well,
you ain't even when I have a day, because we all have our ups and downs. Even when I have a week where I'm like, ugh. I still don't care.
Yeah.
I'm never that bored.
Yeah. You also busy. I was going to say, with that, please, I would like for you to tell people to find you. These handles.
Yes. So, Kisha Nicole _23 on Instagram. That's KISHA Nicole_23. The Movement LA on Instagram. Actually, both of those on all platforms, pretty much. Even TikTok, Facebook. So yeah, those are. Oh, and Vibe with Kisha, but that's literally just a hashtag.
Yeah.
So you just gotta follow the hashtag and.
Tell them about the date. Tell them about the fashion show.
The Movement LA Fashion Week. Oh, what season are we in? 15th annual fashion show will be held November 7th, 16th, and 17th here in Los Angeles. 16 designers, 2 performing artists, an art exhibit, live band, VIP open bar, sponsored by Pixie and Porsche. Yeah.
So yeah, with that, this episode will be dropped before this the fashion show. Please grab your tickets. I'll be throwing on my story. I'll be tagging her so you can get that exchange.
We're gonna be posting this content.
Posting it, absolutely. And I just want to say I appreciate y'all. You know, like as someone who can do certain things, I just want to bring awareness to my community from my community. There's people that's dope in my network that I feel like if I just gave y'all an hour of their time so you can see the things that they talk to me about or they teach me, maybe to teach y'all something. So I appreciate y'all for tuning into the Culture Currency Show. It's your boy Trail. You can find me at wherever you're going to find me. It's coming off my page, but I appreciate y'all, man. Later.